Howdy, it's Jim Morado, and we stopped in Greensburg, Kentucky, and this was April 2022, and a buddy of mine was telling me about this great little town that I pretty much miss every time I'm driving to Mammoth Cave, even when I take the back roads because I go a slightly different route. But I've missed this town by about a mile every time I've been around. But what a great little town. And we're looking at the home of General Edward H. Hobson. I want to read from the marker out front. Home of Union General Hobson, the captor of General John Hunt Morgan at Buffington Island, Ohio, at the end of his raid. The Federal-style house was originally built for Hobson's father in 1823. The house is a brick, 1.5-story structure. Like many Federal-style buildings in Kentucky, this house was updated to reflect the Greek Revival style of the period and the addition of 4-column portico and other details. It's on the list of National Historic Places. This house was the home of General Edward Hobson, both before and after the Civil War. After the war, Hobson became a Republican. He was appointed Collector of Internal Revenue for the 4th District by President Grant and served as Vice President of the 1880 Republican National Convention. So that's interesting. If you're into John Hunt Morgan sites, that's definitely a stop to check out. And check out some of this great mural artwork on some of these buildings in town. I absolutely love this. I noticed on a date, I believe these paintings were done in 2003. They did a great job of using earth colors. So if there's some fading going on, it still holds up. I can think of many colorful murals and paintings done around towns. Owensboro. And there's also a colorful Lincoln painting that's here in Lexington that they used a lot of color on it, and it's starting to fade, and it looks a little awkward. The painter that did these really picked the right colors to use. They did a good job, and they're holding up well, so I tip my hat to them. And there's this great old, I don't know if this is like a railroad trestle bridge or what, but yeah, this is pretty cool. I would come back to this town just to hang out on this cool bridge that goes over the road. It is very high up, though, and if you're afraid of heights, that might be an issue here. I have also noticed that people are starting to put old locks on the bridge, just for what that's worth. But yeah, what a pretty town. What a nice place to stop at. If you're doing a trip across Kentucky, this is just a neat little town to stop and check out. A couple of other things I noticed. They have a couple of interesting businesses around their main street. We're going to walk by them here in a moment. We're going to have breakfast at one of them. And, I like this town. This is a town I want to come back to and spend some more time. It's not that far from Campbellsville. You could combine this with a Campbellsville day trip and have a really pleasant time seeing some cool history, especially Civil War / John Hunt Morgan related, and just see some great little towns with a lot of heart. And we would end up stopping at Long Hunter Coffee and Tea for breakfast. Had a really nice breakfast there. Liked that place a lot. Right beside it is a diner associated with the Kentucky Headhunters. I don't know a whole lot about that. If you know more about that, let me know. But I saw a sign that mentioned the Kentucky Headhunters. As a side note, one of the best bands live I've ever seen, and I've seen a ton of them. Yeah, you see some of the locks on the bridge there. But yeah, there's a little business, like I said, associated with the Kentucky Headhunters. Looks like there's a place that sells wine. Some more interesting businesses and buildings just through here in a gorgeous little downtown square area. But yeah, just looking around some more, walking around. Long Hunters had a really spectacular, looks like a wood-carved cigar store Indian in their window. Yeah, there's the place associated with the Kentucky Headhunters. Looks like it's some sort of a diner. I don't know if that's owned by the band or what. And yeah, here's where we would stop for breakfast coming up.
He's spectacular.
And there's also a county museum right above the restaurant. But we went in and had a seat. It was early. We kind of had the place to ourselves. And they kind of have some museum quality pieces on display as you look around, too. They also have some photos of famous people who have, I guess, performed there or been in. There's a great stage. We sat right next to a stage, and it looks like they have live music quite a bit. So this might be a great venue to check out some live shows. And we had a wonderful waitress. Like I said, the breakfast was perfect. Just a nice place to sit before we drove down to the Mammoth Cave area. And just a beautiful old classic diner. Lots of local history stuff hanging on the walls. They even had some books here, I noticed. They sold, I think, a book of the history of the local high school basketball team or something along those lines. I love it when communities do that sort of thing. You know, they have some local pride. And, you know, it was nice to see somebody took the time to write a book on a topic like that. And here's some other local pieces that they have in a case for you to look at. I love that. Old stove. Yeah, and this Indian, I just was really fascinated with him. He was great. I love cigar store Indians. This is that's just a really well done carving. I don't know where they came across that, but he looks great. A nice long shot of the restaurant. There's more seating towards the back. There's some products they're selling. Just more old stuff. I'm sure kind of overflow from the museum upstairs. Yeah, it's an 1850s rifle they have on display. An old organ. But yeah, this is just a nice little local place that's just nice and calm. Our breakfasts weren't very expensive. You know, very affordable, nice place to stop at. And I can't say enough about them, and I'm looking forward to our next trip here. We didn't have time to do the museum, so I'm looking forward to coming back and doing the museum later. Yeah, there was my breakfast that morning, and that was my buddy Mark's. He's a little bit more health conscious than I am. But yeah, check that out. And then we're leaving. Got one more shot of the Indian. Just walking around a little. Yeah, Greensburg, Kentucky. Yeah, oh, there's an antique store I need to hit next time. Just a neat little town, and I'm going to be back. I'm sure I'll put up more videos about this area. If you have any good stories or something I need to check out there, let me know.